I do want to bring in for more reaction right now. Laffer Tengler, CEO and Chief Investment Officer, Nancy Tengler. You know, the president, you just saw him there at the podium moments ago, Nancy. He's not happy, obviously. Markets, though, seem to be embracing this decision from the justices. Your thoughts?
Well, Cheryl, thanks for having me. I do think it's kind of a market clearing, risk clearing event, and that's what you're seeing with stocks. Now we know, and that's usually the market, right? Once the uncertainty is gone, then everybody can pay attention to other fundamental issues. And I think what we know is that Jameson Greer was out in early December saying that the administration knew there would be some recalibration and that they were confident they had other tools to deal with this. And so I think now what we're seeing is the other tools, the 10% order right out of the gate, and then supply chains for technology companies and manufacturing companies are now, there's a little more clarity. And so I think that's why you're seeing stocks rally. His statement about refunds that you and Lydia were just talking about, I think that's a little bit of a sigh of relief too. Not that I think it's necessarily right, but this will not be an immediate issue that will affect the deficit. So I think there was just a lot of okay, now we know the new ground rules, and that's what you're seeing in stocks.
Well, what is the impact, though, on, this really does, not to put a finer point on this, but this, in a way, does upend Trump's economic agenda. The plan, of course, you use the tariffs, you use it against countries. These threats push other countries to commit to tens of billions of dollars in investments here in the United States, whether it was semiconductor plants, we had that, vehicle production. Do you think that in a way this would change any of the corporate planning that has already been announced? Because now they know that with the Supreme Court decision, maybe they don't want to open up that plant in Georgia. What's your take here?
I don't think so, Cheryl. I think the president still has a commanding presence on the international scene. I think many of the world's leaders are eager to be on the right side of this transaction. And by the way, this is probably the best place in the world to do business. So I don't think that. I think that would be reflected in the stock market. And what you're seeing is that, the semiconductors, Apple, the hardware makers like Dell, those companies are rallying pretty nicely today. So, and by the way, have been. So I think the market was somewhat anticipating this decision. So I don't think that's going to be a concern going forward. I didn't get a chance to check the dollar. That's one of the areas that we'll be focused on in the coming weeks.
Certainly no. And that's a whole other conversation with energy. Real quick, before you go, I do want to ask you, are you still favoring this theme of old economy companies embracing technology? That we had that big report yesterday from Deere. I wanted to get your take on that before you go.
Yeah, that was a great report. I mean, what you saw was a company that really announced the bottom of the large ag cycle. I mean, there's short ag and then large ag. They'd been kind of supplementing with short ag and some construction, but now the long ag cycle seems to be at the bottom, and that's good news for the company. They had a beat and a raise of guidance. That was positive. It's yielding 1% with a 16% divvy growth. But most importantly, this is an old economy company that has pivoted to the new technologies. At their investor day, they spent the entire time talking about the tech stack and the use of software as a service. Unfortunately, I think they'll probably shift that a little because that's become somewhat unpopular. But they are micro targeting the whole farming process with their equipment, and that's exciting because it will increase productivity for farmers. So we've been in it for about 6 months. We're up about 20%. Stock's up, I think, 40 year to date. So we like it. We think you keep adding to it in here.
All right, Nancy Tengler, thank you. I want to get that quick take from you. Appreciate you covering the breaking news with us. We're going to continue to talk about this.